Good evening, folks. It is Sunday. Who's with me tonight on this fun Sunday evening? Who's gonna pop on? Jennifer, you're back to being first. Congratulations. Sherry, welcome to the party. How we doing tonight, everybody? Kitty. Eric, good to have you here. Heather. Dennis is with us. Pasadena's in the house. Welcome, Jenny. Bailey. Karen. Look at you all popping in. Michelle. Jaya. How's Kitty tonight? Hey, Adele. Welcome to the party, everybody. Anne. Diane. All popping in there. Pat. Welcome to the party. Hey, Sherry. We're all grooving and moving in here. How's everyone's self-care Sunday? What are we grateful for? Let's start with what we're grateful for tonight on this Sunday evening as people start checking in here to see what's going on this Sunday. What all are we grateful for? Angie's in the house. Joanne. Hey, Joanne. Julie Jenkowitz. Baking cookies today. That is wonderful that you got a beautiful day. We were supposed to have sun here today, Kitty, but it was cloudy all day. The sun's just started to peek out at night. I am hopeful tomorrow. We were supposed to hit 60 today, but I don't think we did it. I only made it outside to walk. Did I even walk the dogs today? I was only outside for a little bit today. Awesome, Jenny. That is great news that your song is going to be out there tonight. Everybody tune in to Coast AM tonight. Awesome. Whoa, Julie, best sales day plus $880 on the GoFundMe page. That's awesome. Painting furniture today, Angie. That's pretty cool. Cindy's with us. It's partly self-care Sunday, so what do we do to care for ourselves today? What do we do? I saw a lot of baking going on in between things. So there was cookies, there were brownies, amazing online orders again today. Jennifer, you're not going to need your staff back. You and Brad are the dream team, just generating sale after sale after sale. That's awesome. Really switching things up for you guys tonight. We went with wine tonight. Fountain of good luck, Eric. That is awesome. Got the fountain going. Nancy, you Zoomed with friends. That's awesome. Amy washed the car. That's great. The two-man band is hard, Jennifer. It is hard to get everything done, versus what 20 people can do. Doing the work of 20-something people is a lot of work. You took a nap. I tried to take a nap this afternoon, Karen, but everybody told me I didn't have time. First, Cassandra told me I couldn't, then Rebecca told me I couldn't, and then I tried to sneak away, and they came and kicked me. So that didn't happen. Oh, Joanne, I'm not trying to steal you away. There is a replay of my show. There's not a replay of being with your granddaughter, but I appreciate it. The Blue Mountains, the icy cold Blue Mountains of Coors Light. All right, Kitty. Hey, Brooke, that's self-care. It doesn't get any more basic than that for self-care. Taking a shower. Welcome, Ellen and Mike. Welcome to the party tonight. Cheers to you. It is great to have you all with me here on this Sunday evening. It is Self-Care Sunday, so I'm glad all of you took a little bit of a break for a little bit of time for self-care today. You know, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint, so we got to take time for a breath. I had a nice Sunday brunch. You saw my posts of waffles. We had our fancy new waffle machine that self-flips and turns and, I don't know, it dances. It made beautiful waffles. They were good, too. So we had that. Rebecca made brownies last night, so we had a little bit of brownies. So that is a wonderful thing, and we got a little bit of rest in between things. I still worked an awful lot today, but that's okay. That's what keeps me moving, and that is part of my self-care. So I'm glad to have you with us tonight. Let's take a look at what we got going on here. Let us start with our passage from Good Morning, Good Night tonight. Let's see what we got here. Let me flip to one of my marked pages. Well, this is politically correct. Good morning. You drank the bourbon straight, Kurt. I like it. Hey, Ellen, I got lots of waffle makers available in store, so I'll send you one. You go on the website. I'll decide which one you want, and I'll send you a waffle maker right to the beach. I got several. I kept on when I was sent to go get it yesterday at the store. I was like, which one? And you know, because it was like you sent me pictures of 5 different ones before you found the right one. So our good morning, good night message today. Our good morning message. Good morning. I believe in you. Not always in our leaders, not always in the subway schedules, but always in you. You unwavering. That is our starting story for tonight. Good morning. Hey, Cho is joining us. So, if you saw this morning, I posted let's see. So we got a few things going on again. You know, PPP is going to be, the PPP is still going to be a topic into this week. So there was a few changes on the checklist that you may get asked for by your bank. So keep an eye on that. The biggest thing was asking for first quarter payroll expenses, which shouldn't be that hard to get while you're getting all the other payroll expenses in there. And the other thing that was different, or that you might have to think about, is your NAICS code, NAICS code, the North American Industry Classification System, and what code your business is covered under. And you should be able to find that on other business paperwork you have, whether it is an insurance paperwork, which was the quickest place I found it, or, you know, I found it right on our workers' comp paperwork, or something else, but you should be able to find that. You don't want to go to the website and randomly pick one, but it matters why they need that. The SBA uses that because it's partly how they classify you as a small business, and what formula they apply to your business to classify you as small. Yes, that updated document Adele posted on the Resale Strong page this morning for me, so it is all there and all kept organized. The other questions on that, it changed some of the miscellaneous self-certifications, nothing overly heavy in any of that, but that was the biggest change with that today. You know, this is continuing to develop. One of the things in my call this afternoon on it is, and I'm going to come to that, give me a second, with some of the things in my call here today. So let's talk about unemployment again for a second, because I got an update on that. So the governor of Massachusetts came out and specifically reminded people who are self-employed or traditionally not covered under regular unemployment programs to wait before submitting claims. So it's something I've been talking about all along. Now the governors are actually starting to say it out loud so people aren't pissed off at them. They're just not set up to it. and the Department of Unemployment is asking the federal government to issue more guidance on that so that they make sure they do it right. Honestly, it's all about making sure that the state can dot its I's and cross its T's and get the money from the federal government so that the states don't pay a claim and then get stuck with it. But that is nice to see the governors actually saying what I've been saying, and that is a good thing. So, along with that, what else do we got here today? Hang on, my mind is a little blank today. I admit I didn't spend as much time in preparing. Let's see. So let's talk about the PPP again. A lot of you really need to look at your payroll before deciding to go for the PPP. Like I talked about last night, if you're not north of $50,000 in annual payroll, it probably does not make sense for you to go for the PPP. You're better off taking the $10,000 from the EIDL and moving on. Hey Alexa, how are you tonight? So with the PPP, not only they have changed the requirements again. One of the requirements, so they lowered the threshold to 75% had to be spent on payroll to get the money back. Well, they've clarified two things this weekend. One is that it's in the 8-week period following disbursement that you have to, that period is what qualifies you for the converting it to a grant. And that's the period that is going to be looked at. So if you're not having your staff back, they're not back to full steam, you got to hit that. The other part that they added in is that not only do you need to hit that 75% for it to be credited, but you also have to, it's mandatory that you spend 75% of the funds on payroll. This is all about jobs and all about getting America back to work. And so now they're mandating that you spend 75% of it on payroll. It doesn't have to be spent during the 8 weeks following disbursement, but if it is not spent during the 8 weeks, it's in the weeks that follow it, you have to spend that on payroll. It's not like you can use parts of it for the other permitted uses and just not get as much of it converted to a grant. 75% of it has to be spent on payroll. So that was something that they made abundantly clear in today's call, that there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, that it has to be that way. The other thing, and this one it's sort of a hard pill to swallow because we're making these decisions now based on the information we have today, okay? But under guidance from the SBA, they have till the 26th. That is correct, Jenny. It's not worth taking it until you can bring your people back full time and use that 75% towards payroll. And it really depends on your bank whether they will hold disbursement till such a time as you can reopen. My bank will, and I'm very fortunate to that. They even said that again this morning when I was talking to them at 7 this morning. It's weird to be talking to, I'm, again, a small regional bank, but my guy, him and I are emailing at 7 o'clock this morning, back and forth all morning. But, that is very key to this whole thing. It's the 8 weeks immediately following is the only calculation they're going to use, and the 75% thing. But the other side of this is they can adapt these rules all the way to the 26th of April. Okay, it is expected that all the rule adaptations are going to happen fast and furious this week that are expected to come, including what documentation will have to be provided to get the credit applied after the 8 weeks. But it is, they actually have in their, well, you're awesome, Alexa. You can use 25% of the loan for rent utilities if you want to, but you can't include those amounts into the loan. So the loan is only based on payroll. And if you're not doing at least $50,000 a year in payroll, the PPP is not worth doing. Okay, not even close to worth doing. Just take the $10,000 from the EIDL. You also can't use the PPP and EIDL for the same purposes. So you can't say I'm getting the economic injury disaster loan and using it for payroll and using the PPP for payroll. So, like, what's been recommended, what I talked about last night again, and I will be doing, is I'll be dumping that money into my payroll account. The money from the PPP, I keep a separate payroll account, which makes the accounting for this very, very easy. And the only thing I will pay out of that comes out of that account is payroll and our health insurance payments. So that's the only two things I'm rolling into the PPP. Yes, Leslie, the EIDL is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, EIDL, and they're pronouncing it EIDL. Yes, Crystal, you can still take that money because the business is taking that money. It's not Crystal that's taking that money. So Crystal, you can be collecting unemployment and taking that money. Not a problem. Go ahead and collect. Absolutely. So, but that threshold was, and that 75% that has to be spent on payroll, regardless of time that you do it, was an important update this weekend. The other update that I got in this is it looks like the Main Street Business Lending Program that we talked about previously that could potentially turn into a grant is still on the table and still being formulated. There's being money that the Federal Reserve is putting aside for that. And so something may still be coming of that this week or next is the key thing, but it is still on the table, and that could get very interesting as another pot of money, especially if it's grant money versus loan money. And that's something I've been talking to people a lot about as I talk to people in government that have power is that we don't want more loans for something that wasn't our fault. We all want to be standing. We're all committed to our communities, but we want we want everybody. We want a hand up just to help us through this time. It's a tough time for everybody, but we are going to get to the other side. We have survived 100% of our worst days, and we will survive this too. Joanne, it is not based on full-time. It's based on full-time equivalents. So you take all your payroll hours for the year, okay? And one way to do it is divide it by 52, and then divide that by 40, and you have the number of full-time equivalent employees. And so that is your head count. So, if you could have 20 people 20-something working for you, and when you cut it down to full-time equivalents, it works out to 10 or something, or 8. And that's it. That's great, Jenny, that you applied for the Verizon Grant Program and got a confirmation email. A lot of people have been doing the GoFundMe today and getting that going and getting lots of money in for their store, which is just fabulous. That is fabulous. I think Julie got $800 and something. Brooke hit her $500. Jennifer's done it. Again, it's an easy thing. That is cool. So yes, April 26th is a key date when the SBA has to issue its guidance on loan payment relief, deferment, and the loan forgiveness. So but a lot is expected this week because some people are hesitant on the loans and when to disperse them because of that. That is the big things with the PPP today. Right, exactly, Eric. 32 employees converts to 16 full-time. And some of those even work for you. So it gets really interesting in how that's all, what it calculates to and how that works out. But it's amazing what you get down to in employees. I'm trying to see what else I got today. Sunday tends to be a slower news day, which is nice. Reminder, if some of you were thinking of deferring payroll taxes, you don't get to defer. If you take the PPP, you don't get to defer payroll taxes. If you don't take the PPP, you can delay payroll taxes, federal payroll taxes for 2020. You'd pay half at the end of 2021 and half again at the end of 2022 if you didn't take it. Well, yeah, Jenny, you've got some stuff there. Depending on when you're allowed to open will depend on when you take that money. And, 75% of it's got to be used for payroll. So, you have to look at other sources of funding for the other stuff. You can use 25% for rent, utilities, etc., but you're going to have to look at the economic injury disaster loan for other sources of funding or other programs in your state. But keeping in mind that a lot of that is loans right now. And yes, I think there is some hope for some rent programs, but, I don't bet on hope. Hope is not a plan. I like sure things. I like things that I have faith in. So you need to make a plan and conversations with your landlords and stuff around that, and communicate what's really happening. There might be rent programs. Might and are two very different things. I am optimistic about it, Jenny, there being some rent programs out there, but there aren't today, so I would not bet on that. So I would be making your business plans knowing the programs that exist today. Okay? We could wake up tomorrow to completely different programs and other things that are available, but we don't know what those are going to be yet, and so let's go with what we know, not what we wish we knew. In case you didn't read Adele's post, when Adele posted earlier from Seth's blog, I thought I'd read it to you tonight. Enough little things. We rarely have complete control over the big issues, but the way we interact with each other, the small kindness, the extra effort, it adds up. One after another, day by day, it might be good enough to change someone's day, and then the ripple continues. Remember, as we work our way through this, as we navigate these times and everything else, be stubborn about your goals. You want to follow your goals. You want to be the best resale store wherever in your town, in your city, in your state. Okay, you want to be the best operator around. You want to be the best friend. Be stubborn in your goals. Be flexible in your methods. So do shipping. Start creating your website. Call your software providers for new ideas. Follow up with Colleen at Monkeys and Hats or Angie on marketing ideas and different ways to get your business out there. Angie at Angie K. Colleen Brand Garden. Well, Monkeys and Hats now. I still call them Brand Garden. It's because I haven't changed their folder in my email list. But call these people. Have conversations. They've got great ideas to help you through this. All your software providers have been phenomenal. I've talked to them all this weekend, actually. I've talked to several of them, and they have been wonderful. I mean, providing encouragement, providing resources. They're there to help you succeed. They know you can be there on the other side of this. I didn't share one of the things I was grateful for today is I had a conversation with my cousin, one of my cousins, and he manufactures, one of the big manufacturers of trade show booths, the big booths that they set up at a trade show event, and his company manufactures them. And he's told me that he was able to keep 100 people working because they were able to convert 2 of their facilities to making manufacturing medical gear, gowns, and protective equipment and such. And so while he's had some layoffs and had to lay off people in other parts of his operation, he was able to get some people still manufacturing and use the facilities. So, yes, Adele, absolutely. Reach out to all our affiliates. They are there. I don't, there's not one of them that is, they're not sleeping either. They want to help you get to the other side. You saw all the new websites that went live this week. You've heard all the success stories with people selling and doing different things. You know, we're going to get to the other side of this. Thank you, Leslie. I'm happy to be here. So yeah, I was really, really proud of my cousin, you know, I mean, and, you know, it's not easy either, you know, that's a fraction of his business now, what he normally sells, making gowns and doing that stuff. It's an awesome thing to be doing, and he's grateful it's basically keeping those 100 people employed. It's not paying any other bills for him, which is the same boat we're all in right now, and it's just a fraction of his normal revenue stream. But it was great that he was able to convert that and do that. So again, be stubborn in your goals. Okay, you know his goals keep as many people employed as he can, and be flexible in your methods. That is the other thing. The other thing with the PPP and its credits is April 26th is a date for employees. So if you're concerned that you might have to lay people off because it's going to be longer or something before things are going to return to more of a normal for you in your area of the country, April 26th is the key date that you have to do that by, because it's really counting the return of payrolls after April 26th is one of the other weird calculations that applies to some people that have kept people on. So keep that in mind, and feel free to reach out to me should you have a specific question on that. My call list is going down this weekend, which is nice. I've made a lot of progress on it. I will make a lot of progress tomorrow. I have a couple of key informational business meetings that I have to be on to get us the latest and greatest information. But other than that, I'll be returning calls all day tomorrow, so I hope to get it down. I think my call pile is under 40 right now, which is great. I have a few new ones in there that I know I need to get to. I saw yours, Pat, and a couple others that came in today. I will continue working on that list tomorrow, and absolutely anybody that wants to add to that, I am happy to have conversations about your specific situation, your specific numbers, and how this works best. Any of these programs work best for you, or how we help get you to the other side with this. Because we're all going there. We're all going 110% to the other side. Let's see, what other inspiration did I have for you today? Remember that for every minute you're angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness. So keep that in mind. Keep that 60 seconds of happiness. Do not frown. I am the easiest guy in the world to reach. You can find me at Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. That is Neil at ECIstores.com. Do not, if you email me, do not forget to include your phone number, because most of your questions are not a simple yes or no. They require a call back, and I am happy to call you. So if you get a call from a 508 number or a FaceTime from a 508 number that you do not know, that is me. I like to do the FaceTimes and have this face-to-face interaction to make sure that you're getting what I'm talking to you about. And that is where I call from. If you get a call from an 817 or an 800-366 number, that is the SBA calling you. Take the call, because it's not easy to call them back. Okay? We are going to get to the other side of this together. Find me on Facebook. Find me in emails the easiest way, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. I'm back live every night at 8. You find the replays of me, and all the information we talk about here is posted to narts.org, resale strong, narts.org/resale strong, and the replays of the videos are here again on that page the next day at noon. They drop on that page, so you can check them there. Tell all your friends, regardless of what business they're in. If they're the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, we will help them get to the other side of this too. We're all going to the other side. Do not forget it. I read you our good morning at the beginning from our Good Morning, Good Night book. Our good morning, for those of you that were not here at the beginning, was, good morning. I believe in you. Not always in our leaders, not always in subway schedules, but always in you, you unnerving. Our good night tonight is, good night. I believe in you. Not always in our institutions, not always in my own strength, but always in you, you evergreen. That is our good night, folks. I do weddings, I do bar mitzvahs, I do holiday parties. I am here to help you get to the other side of this. You, and you, and you, and yes, most definitely, you are not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow night at 8. I'll talk to a lot of you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.